She remembers she was outside talking to the Lord, and a man was speaking about hearing God's voice. She remembers clearly the word the Lord told her was. She remembers the Lord saying, I want you to go with me to the end of the earth. After about a year of marriage, a friend of ours invited us to come visit in Swaziland, and it took a couple of days there to know this is definitely where we're gonna spend a season of our life. So we were leading an internship program at the time, and so one of the things we would do is we would send them to a hospital in the capital, in Mbabane, and that's where we met Nandu and Busi. They were actually patients of ours in the hospital. Pretty miraculously and quickly found them moving into our home in an unbelievable way. This is Nondumiso. Nondumiso is praise God in her language. I met a social worker in the hospital. I said, do you know the story of where Nandu's come from? And she didn't even know that Nandu was there. So I picked up Nandu and I was feeding her, and man, the Lord spoke to me clearly, and he said, Claude, this is your daughter. And I mean, shocked. 10 minutes later or so, the social worker comes in and she looks at me and she says, you will take your daughter home today. I went home and I said, Mary, they want to give us this precious girl. And Mary said, let me pray. And she came back to me and she brought me the Bible, and she said, this is what God's spoken to me. And so there's a piece in Ezekiel 16. It says, on the day that you were born, no one cared for you. No one wrapped you with cloth or rubbed you with salt or water. You were cast down in the field. But I, the Lord, saw you and said, you will live. I saw you again, and I said, you will live, and you will grow to be a beautiful woman. And what Mary didn't know at the time was that is Nandu's story, that she was found in the bush like that, and the Lord had miraculously saved her life and kept her alive for 2 days, and knew he was going to put our family together. This is Busisiwe. Busisiwe in Siswati means blessing. So this was the name her birth mother gave her, and been an unbelievable blessing to us. Busi and Nandu were in the same hospital, and when we met Busi, she'd sustained pretty horrific burns, about 40% of her body, just warming herself by the fire one day, and we really lack plastic surgeons in Swaziland. So as a result of the fire, when I met Busi, the legs had grown to her abdomen, and her forearm was attached to her bicep. And miraculously, you were still caring for 10, 11 abandoned babies. A friend of mine was working with us, a nurse. She said, somebody needs to take responsibility for that sweet girl. I knew it wasn't Meredith's words, but it was God's words for me, and really for us as a family. But we needed to take her out of the country and couldn't. We needed to get surgery elsewhere. So finally a magistrate called us from the capital, and she knew our story and knew about Nandu. And the magistrate said, I want to help you, and the only way I can truly do that is if I give you Busi. And she said, I want to make her your daughter. We just blown away by her journey and see God using you in our lives, probably more than us in yours. It's been unbelievable.
I was actually scared of him for the first time because he had like this big bushy beard, and yeah, he was just really scary, you know. And I started getting comfortable with him being around me because that's when I knew he knew we were like teaching each other our languages, so I could understand him. But I think then till I met Mommy, I was a lot more comfortable with being around him. That like I had to adjust to having her around too, you know. Like I didn't know the reason of why she couldn't understand what I was saying, and I couldn't understand what she was saying. So that was just like, I guess, confusing for me. So I actually learned the reason.
At first with Nandu, we had Nandu first, and she was 2 months old. It was like the first 3 days when we had her, when I had her home with me. It was just the two of us together because Claude was very sick at that time. I can say that I had this amazing love for Nandu instantly. Like she was my own child, like I had given birth to her. I just remember I poured myself into her every hour of the With Busi, we took some time because we didn't know each other's language. I knew she didn't know sign language and I didn't know any Siswati. So it took us time to build our relationship just to communicate.
But we made it.